All right. Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Glad you guys are here. Super, super glad. So, good news. Yay. All right. So, pardon me. I am going to be going over this, will be part two review because the other night I was super exhausted. But tonight, not so much. But I did want to just make sure that I was focused on the main points of the event, which I'm going to go over everything, right? But I didn't want to be distracted with anything. So it's just going to be straight audio tonight. For those of you that are old school when it comes to podcasts, and some you might still be using just listening by audio and not using visual. So tonight we will be doing straight just all audio, which is great. I'm in love with it. That's how I started. My podcast was all audio anyway. So we'll be doing that tonight. So this is going to be a good time for me to say thank you once again to those who have helped me. And I will name them off again very soon. But let's just get started, right? Let's just talk about the event. So, you guys heard about what? The Ignite a New Start, Reclaim Your Power, Rewrite Your Story Summit. It was a book launch and community event. Yes, and it was really, really great. I was so excited and I could not believe the Lord had brought it together in the way that he did. Every speaker shared something different. Every speaker shared from their heart. Every speaker, I was so happy. So at first I was like, oh, I didn't have a lot of people. I didn't have all the people I wanted to fill the room. But you know what? It was really, really good. And I was so very thankful. Once again, I'm going to thank my event sponsor, Pastor J, Dr. James C. Sutton II, without him, I would not have been able to put on this event. He has always been my number one fan, my number one supporter, my number one everything. Man, as a friend, he's crazy amazing. And as a supporter, he's even more so. And he pushes me like, you can do this, T. You got this. And even when I'm doubting myself, he's like, you know how to do this stuff. And I think one of the things that he reminded me when the event planner had to bail and she had a legitimate reason because a wedding came up. He's like, you can do this. You know what you want your event to look like. I'm like, but I'm not an event planner. I'm not a planner like that. I watch other people. He's like, you can do it. So when it came together the way it did with the people that helped me and they kind of added to my vision, I was like, ooh, this is great. So I'm going to thank them by name right now so I don't forget. I'm going to thank Stephanie, both Stephanies, my friend Stephanie and Stephanie from Hope as a speaker. I thank Shantae for being there and being helpful. I thank Jeanette. She was there and super helpful, amazing MC. So glad that she could do it and that she was available. And I want to thank Alicia for once again doing all the pictures and taking the videos. It's super, super helpful. And Mr. Jim, Mr. Lieutenant Perez from the MPD. I want to thank them. I want to thank Tyra from Against Abuse as one of the DV advocate educators. And I want to thank Ms. Floor, our now new mental health therapist in the community. So thankful for each and every one of them coming and supporting and sharing. And not to mention the only one, not the least, but the mayor, Mayor Nancy Smith, for coming out and being so supportive. She got our first Flame Award. There is a Flame Award also for Dr. Sutton, which I will send to him. And hopefully, Lord willing, next year will be great. I have a date in mind for October, but I'm also asking Miss Tori from Against Abuse just so I can make sure I don't run on her day. Plus, I would like to go to her event. I wanted to go that night, but man, I'm telling you, I was beside myself, tired, when you put an event together and when you do it, you think it's okay, it's done, and your body's like, it's ready to go. It's not. It was like I was tired, but I wanted to share that because the Ignited New Start, Reclaim Your Power, Rewrite Your Story, that has been something that's been in my head for a very long time. Just to hear that even the librarian, Mr. Craig, he's like, Tanika's been talking about this for like a year. I didn't realize I had been talking about it for a year. And then it finally came to be. See, sometimes we think about things that we do and we think, oh, it came together so smoothly and so quickly. But some of this has been planning for a long time and planning until it finally came to fruition and it finally happened. So I'm going to continue to do it because you know what? Domestic violence is not only happen in October, it's going on all year long. And there are people that are facing it all the time, currently, even right now as we speak. And of course, we're getting close to the tail end of October being over. But I want to make sure that it is very apparent and that it's importantly shared that domestic violence does grow in silence. And when we don't acknowledge it to speak up about it, it continues to grow. It continues to wreak havoc and harm on those that are trying to leave very, very abusive and harmful and almost sometimes deadly situations. I was reminded today as I was on a training that was dealing with media training from the California Partnership of Domestic Violence. First of all, I was reminded from one of the ladies in the organization. She's like, "Oh wow, Tanika, we worked together, I guess, on a campaign back in 2017." I was like, "Wow, that's been a while." She's like, "Right." See, I don't know. For me, sometimes I don't know how long I've been doing this work until somebody makes it apparent and throws it back to me like, "This is the year that we work with you. This is the year we work with you." And so my advocacy for domestic violence started back then, very long ago. But before that advocacy work was HIV advocacy work that prepared me for the domestic violence advocacy work, which HIV work, advocacy work is not finished. My community advocacy is not done. I'm still going to advocate and stand up for the things that I believe, the things that matter to me, the things that affect my community, the things that affect my family, the things that affect me personally. And when you have that commitment to make sure that others don't face the same kind of hardships you did, and I'm talking about with domestic violence, you want to make sure that you do all that you can with your advocacy to instill some changes so that the processes that they have to go through, the systems they have to navigate aren't as challenging as when you first went through it. And if you are not a survivor, then maybe you watch someone go through it. Or maybe you have a friend you didn't really talk too much about it. You knew something was up, but that's none of your business, you say. It takes a lot for a person to be courageous to figure out how to leave a situation that is just more than toxic, up to the point that it's deadly for you. And you're like, that's unique. But see, when you have your mind purposed to share about your story, it's no longer just a story. It's a testimony and a message for others to bring others hope and to encourage them and inspire them to run on and not get bogged down with the things of this world and just remembering as well that there are people out there that care about you, that love you, that wanna see you just rise, and you might have some negative Nancys out there. You might have some doubting Thomases out there. You might have some people out there that just feel what you share, what you provide has zero worth to them. But can I remind you that you are worth something to somebody? And it may not be that person, it may be somebody totally different. But as you keep working, and as you keep lending your voice to the circumstances and situations of domestic violence, it can help many, many, many women and others and men as well, because women aren't the only ones affected, right? So I just want you all to remember that the event was amazing. I was going to get teary and tear up from it because it was a labor of love. I promise you, it was a labor of love, of toiling and sweating and crying and praying and all the things in order for it to become what it was. And I'm so grateful. And my prayer would be that Pastor Jake could come out to the next one if he can, because there's a lot of things I thank him for, a lot. So perhaps one day. But other than that, let me tell you, the event was amazing. I can't share enough about it because the 100 Black men came through. I was so glad to see Mr. Moore and Mr. Allen. It was wonderful, and I was so glad that everybody showed up who was going to speak. The attendees, of course, so more, but for the most part, it was very, very good, and I am looking forward to doing it next year. I can hardly wait and hold myself together because I said, this is what needs to happen. So next year, I do know I will have it together with authors, podcasters, and independent artists. Because the first one, I broke out to do my book launch, which was amazing and super excited. So the next one will be continuing. It will be authors, podcasters, and independent artists, faith based, and always enjoy interviewing, of course, independent artists when I get time, because sometimes I'm so busy doing other things in my community and all those things that I can't be as consistent with my independent artists as I would like to. But man, to have a studio where all that is housed and people come in and oh man, that could be a dream because that's one of the things I'm looking to do, still help my community, but at the same time not try to step on people's toes, right? I don't want to do that. So the review was just to let you all know the event was amazing. And I was so thrilled and happy about it. It brought me peace, even in the midst of the chaos that I was speaking about with domestic violence. It brought me peace. And I hope that it brings people peace and joy because you know what? You're not the only one going through it. And domestic violence is not funny and it is hard and it takes a long time to rebuild some things that were damaged by others. And you might say, well, I don't see any broken furniture or any broken this or it's not that. It's things that you would think of that are important to you are important to someone in your family, but somebody else might see like, so what? So domestic violence is super important to continue talking about, not just throughout the end of this month and carrying on all the days, but try to get to some of those events for domestic violence because there are so many of them that are informative and helpful. And one of my goals is to get on one of those uh, ways to volunteer at these different organizations. So I'm still looking to do that, but I just wanted to share again that it was an amazing event, and I was just blown away with the turnout for myself. And I was like, okay, I can truly do this. I could do this whole thing. So thank you all for being supportive. Those of you that supported with sharing it out, thank you. It was so good to see you. And I'm saying it's so good to see you. Just anybody who was there at the event, it was good to see you. But I hope that I get to see you, whomever you are listening. I hope I get to see you at the next one in 2026. So I have a tentative date in my head, like I stated, but if I can figure out what date works, then I'll be able to attend the gala next year, Lord willing, and then I can have my event as well. So I am looking forward to it. I just want to get on here and just share just a little bit about the event, about the speaking, about the people that showed up, because it was amazing. And all the messaging was surrounded about hope, was surrounded about the Lord Jesus Christ. And you couldn't have a better meeting than that. So I was just super uber grateful for that. So I hope you guys will have an amazing and blessed night. A big kiss from me to you. Remember to be blessed, motivated, and always inspired to do what the Lord lays on your heart. So, you guys take care, and I will talk to you guys again real soon. Bye now.